Well, hey there. Good morning, LEGO fans. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope your week is going well. Hey, we're in September. How cool is that, right? And all these new LEGO sets and all this stuff that's coming out. I got a topic I want to talk to you about today on this Wildcard Wednesday. But hey, before I get into it, I do always just like to start off by just saying thank you. No matter how you're catching this episode, if you are a podcast listener and you're listening to it on your favorite podcast platform, or maybe you're a visual person and you just like checking it out on the YouTube page. No matter how you get this episode, I just appreciate you tuning in, and I hope you enjoy it. Like I said, it's a Wild Card Wednesday, so I have a fun topic today. See, here we are. It's September 2025, and there are a lot of set releases, right? Some are good, some are bad, some are meh. But you know what I notice is there are a lot of redos, a lot of reimagined sets, a lot of remastered sets or rehashed sets, if you will. And some of these sets that we're getting that we have already gotten before, because this is not a new thing. LEGO has done this many times, but some of these sets are pretty incredible, honestly, and we're like, wow, I'm so glad LEGO decided to redo this set. Or some of these are like, why? What in the world were you thinking? Like, who decided this would be a good idea when we already had such a good set in existence? So I thought today it would be interesting to talk about what are the 5 sets we actually want remastered, remodeled, redone, sets that we have not gotten before. That's what I want to talk about, because like I say, if we look at the current market right now, sets that are either on shelves or going to be on shelves, just as a quick overview: Architecture Eiffel Tower, got the Death Star, the Winter Village Train, the Black Pearl, Arkham Asylum, Hogsmeade Village, as well as every other Harry Potter set. So there are just a lot of sets that we have seen LEGO do before. But, you just got to ask yourself, did we want this? And if LEGO gave us the choice, if they were like, all right, you get to pick, what is the set you want us to revisit and remaster, what is it going to be? And so that's what this episode is today. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose five sets from 5 different themes, asterisks there, and I'm going to give you my choices, my top 5 choices on if I could choose a set that LEGO has really not attacked before and redone to do it justice. These are the sets that I would choose. So your results may vary, so make sure you leave me a comment down below. If you don't agree with me and you think this set should be redone, let me know. I would love to hear your opinion. What is your dream set that you absolutely wish LEGO would redo, right? Like, maybe you couldn't afford the old set because, it retired way before you got into LEGO. Maybe the one time LEGO ever did this set, you just weren't that impressed with it, and you just wish LEGO would, remodel it with the new and improved building techniques that they've had over the last 20 years. Just leave me a comment, let me know. But there we go. Okay, here's how we're going to do this. Like I said, 5 sets. I am going to start off with one that I think is a banger. This theme, this is my asterisk, is the Icons theme. Now, I say icons, and when I say icons, I really mean the Icons Creator Expert Advanced Models sets, right? Because that's what it started as. We had the Advanced Model sets, and then they changed that moniker to Creator Expert, and then in 2020, it became LEGO Icons. So between all 3 of those different themes, which are really the same theme, we got 177 sets to choose from, and I am using BrickCast as my go-to to tell you these numbers today. So if there's any type of variation, like I say, I am using BrickCast for this, but there's 177 sets, and this is arguably for AFOLs one of the best themes in existence. So what could we possibly get that we haven't gotten before? And I will tell you this, I think it's a ship. And I'm not a ship guy. Like, I'm not a huge ship guy, but there is one ship out there that I think could get redone and just be incredible. Do you know what it is? Did you guess 10210, the Imperial flagship? That's right. 2010's Imperial flagship. If you've not seen this set, I will actually post images of each of the 5 sets I'm talking about today, so if you're tuning in on the YouTube page. But if you're listening in, I'll do my best to describe it. The Imperial flagship was just a banger of a set that was released, like I said, back in 2010. It went for $180, had 1,664 pieces, and it was just massive, right? A beautiful looking, what you would think like a British naval sailing ship. It had these big, huge white masts, 9 different minifigs to it. And here's the deal. If you want that exact set today, because it was only on shelves for under 2 years, new in box, it's going to cost you over $1,200. Used, it's going to cost you almost $800. So I don't know about you, but I always say, unless I'm winning the lottery, these ships or these sets just aren't happening for me. So to me, this set feels like a no-brainer. And really here in 25, you think about it, we started off with Titanic, right? And that was a pretty incredible sailing vessel. But here more recently, we've got the Ideas paddle boat, which is very impressive. We had the Endurance last Thanksgiving break, which is an absolutely incredible ship for sure. And then most recently, we had a reimagined set of the Black Pearl, and also a very fantastic ship. And to me, it's like the Lego ship market somehow seems to be the hot market to make these really incredible sets. And so if they were to redo the Imperial flagship, I just think that would be absolutely great. But hey, Steve, I'm a giant Lego nerd and I know my Lego history. They've actually already redone the Imperial flagship. That is true. Technically, there is the Imperial flagship set 6271. That came out way back in 1992. But here's the deal, guys. It was only 317 pieces. So really, yes, they redid it back in 2010, but it is long overdue for another remastered, remodeled ship. Can you imagine what they could do nowadays? I just think it would be incredible. So, like I say, starting off strong with an incredible theme, an incredible ship, and one that I think Lego fans would absolutely go bonkers for. So, moving on, I'm going to cheat a little bit already. Hey, it's my list. I get to do what I want. We're going to talk modulars. And yes, I know modulars are technically a part of advanced models, creator, expert, and icons. But hey, modulars are just so good, right? Nothing gets a Lego AFOL more excited than the end of the year speculation on what is the next modular going to be. And really, since we're talking like that was 3 themes I kind of hit on, I feel like it's fair to say this sub-theme deserves recognition and deserves talking about. And so really, Steve, if we're going to get a modular that is going to be redone, which one do you think it is? Well, any guesses? Leave me a comment down below. Me, for my money's worth, I don't think it could get any better than set 10185, the Greengrocer. That's right, the Greengrocer, arguably one of the most iconic modular buildings we ever have gotten. Really kind of set the stage for what modular buildings could be. And in my opinion, one of the big reasons for modular buildings' overall success here in the last 15 years. But if you want the Greengrocer today, like it came out in 2008, had a 2-year shelf life, retired in 2010. It was 3,252 pieces. So it was a big set for its time for sure, but it was only $150. What a steal. But if you want to get it now, it's a little absurd. Like new in box is going to be around almost $1,500 on average. And used is going to be around $750 on average. And that's if you can get your hands on one of these sets. They just don't come up super often, or if the ones that do typically are overpriced. And so I really feel like we're overdue for this set. Honestly, a new updated grocery store would just be a great modular to have. It doesn't even need to have to be the green grocer. But if we're going to rehash something in modular specifically, we're due for an updated grocery store. We are due for an updated green grocer. I think fans would absolutely lose their minds. The only people that wouldn't be happy are the people that have held on to those green grocers for so long. But even if Lego decided to re-release it piece for piece, the majority of modular building collectors would cheer, because if there's sets that modular building collectors don't have, it's green grocer and cafe corner for sure, right? And so I just think that would be a good one. Okay, so we've done 2. We've got 3 left. We're actually rolling right along in this episode. The last 3 themes, okay, I'm kind of up my game a little bit. I am going to go to Harry Potter next. You a Harry Potter fan out there, everybody? Did you know there are 201 Harry Potter sets that have been released as of this recording? That's a little absurd. And if there is any theme out there that likes to re-release sets, reimagine sets, remaster sets, it's Harry Potter. Like, try to, just for a second, think of a set they've only done one of. It's really, really hard, And if they have done a set or remastered a set, like, it already is almost at like pinnacle status. Like the Hogwarts Castle really doesn't get much better than what we already got. The Hogwarts Express, it's top tier even if you don't like the set. Even down to something like the Burrow. We finally got a UCS style Burrow, if you will. So it's like, what could they possibly do in Harry Potter that we haven't experienced? And here's what I'm going to say. Hear me out on this one. The Night Bus. That's right, I said it, the Night Bus. Before you just start spamming me with hate comments, listen, here's the deal. I understand we've gotten like 5 different versions already of the Night Bus. They're there. They're out there. I have one sitting. I literally am actually looking at 2 of them across the room from me. I know what I have in the Night Bus, and I know that it's been released several times. In fact, the last Night Bus we got was here in 2025, which was essentially a re-release of the 2019 Night Bus. So it's like, Steve, have you lost your mind? Have you gone crazy? Here's my deal. I would love to see them actually give the Night Bus its due. Kind of like what they did with the Burrow, right? It's the Night Bus that came out this year in 2025. It is the largest Night Bus, the most impressive, if you will, Night Bus that we have ever gotten. And it is a 499-piece set. It's small. It is a play-style set. And we have essentially, if you look at Harry Potter, have gotten a collector's edition style set for pretty much everything else, And so I feel like to have a 2,000 piece, 2,500 piece, somewhere in that area Night Bus that would actually look so good on shelves, we are long overdue for that. Do you like collecting the Icons cars? Do you have a London double-decker bus? Can you imagine if they did the Night Bus like they did the London double-decker bus? I just think it would actually be incredible, and something that if they did it right, people would go, oh, finally, we got a Night Bus that we really want to go after. We've got all the play versions of Night Buses we can handle, right? Please, Lego, don't give us any more of those. Redo the Night Bus and redo it to its glory. It's an iconic vehicle in the series, and I'm shocked that we haven't gotten more of a collector's edition Night Bus. So that is something that I would like to see. So yes, it's been rehashed many times. Yes, it's the Night Bus. Yes, I know you're probably thinking to yourself, you've gone crazy, but I dare you, leave me a comment down below. Tell me another Harry Potter set that we could get that we've really only gotten one of, or just an average set that they could redo in something that could look spectacular. In 201 sets, it's really, really tough to find. So there's my challenge to you. So I look forward to the comments below. But that is Harry Potter. Super popular theme for sure. Can we go on to a new theme though? And my favorite theme. And no, believe it or not, it's not Star Wars. My favorite theme, and I've said this, if you're a longtime listener, you know, my favorite theme is architecture. I love architecture. It is the theme that brought me out of the Dark Ages, the wonderful designs, by Adam Reed Tucker, that little Empire State Building down across from me right now. That was the set that I'm just like, oh, Lego is for adults. It was just such a cool, pivotal moment in my life that architecture just always has a place in my heart. And here's the thing. If you look at BrickCast today, there are actually 68 sets listed under the architecture line. Now, again, there's some asterisks in there because there's some doubles as far as like the original John Hancock building and the Sears Tower, or like the Las Vegas set. So those don't really count in my book as being doubles or re-releases, even though technically they are because of the story behind them. But architecture itself, honestly, it does a really good job at re-releasing sets. In fact, I was just thinking off the top of my head, we got the Eiffel Tower, the White House, the Burj Khalifa, Taj Mahal, because the World of Wonders set, that counts as an architecture line. So we have multiple Taj Mahals. Recently, we got the Trevi Fountain here in 2025, a re-release of an original. The Empire State Building, which is sitting right next to me. We've got the original smaller 69-piece set, and then the big behemoth. It's like a 1,500-piece set and just looks so, so good. And then Guggenheim. The Guggenheim Museum I have in front of me as well. That was a re-release. And even just most recently, Shanghai, in the strangest regional release ever, where the new Shanghai is essentially the old landmark Shanghai, but just released in that tiny little section of the Asia market. It's the same set, but somehow they decided to give it a new set number. I don't know. Either or, again, then you got to ask yourself, if Lego architecture, if over 10% of its entire theme is actually a re-released set, what could possibly be the set that we would want to get our hands on that it could be re-released and remastered? And to me, this one is an absolute no-brainer. And I hope it may be a no-brainer for you. And that would be Falling Water. Falling Water is such an amazing set. It was the set that, again, it's the greengrocer of architecture is the best way I could put it, because architecture back in the day was a lot of small sets. We had the Sears Tower, the Willis Tower, John Hancock Building, the Space Needle, all of these sets that were like under 100 pieces. And then, blam, Adam Reed Tucker hits us in the face with this amazing, gorgeous interpretation of Frank Lloyd Wright's Falling Water. It came out back in 2009, and it only had a 2-year shelf life, which is interesting because most architectures from that time, that actually, a lot of them have long shelf lives. We're talking 4 to 5 years. So it's more limited release. Not as short as like Guggenheim, but anyway, kind of ups its price, because back in the day you could buy it for $100. Now though, if you want it new in box, plan on talking is hard today. Sorry about that. Plan on paying a little over $400 for it, or if it's used, probably on average a little over $200 for it. And I just think we're due. Like, if Lego were smart, they would redo Falling Water, because here's the deal. If you don't know about Falling Water or Adam Reed Tucker, he actually broke off, that partnership stopped around 2019, and he started his own building brick business, the Atom Bricks, and he actually released his version of Falling Water, his new version of Falling Water through that company. And it is a huge set. It is a gigantic 4,000 plus piece behemoth that looks absolutely gorgeous. It was like the shackles were released and he got to do Falling Water, in my opinion, how I think he probably always wanted to do it. And so for Lego to keep the architecture theme running, because here's the deal. Here in 2026, we're going to get an updated Eiffel Tower, a 900-piece Eiffel Tower, which we already have 2 giant Eiffel Towers. We have a landmark Eiffel Tower, and we already have an Eiffel Tower that's like a 600-piece Eiffel Tower. We've got plenty of those. We don't need another Eiffel Tower, but we've got a whole bunch of architecture releases that are coming out here in 2026, and one could hope that maybe that marquee set could be a re-release of Frank Lloyd Wright's Falling Water. It would make sense to me. I would love it. It's just such a special place in my heart for that set, for that design, and to see how they could interpret it with a much higher piece count would just be phenomenal. You know, something like what they're doing with Notre Dame or doing with Neuschwanstein Castle, that more hyper-realistic 3,000 to 4,000 piece set. A Lego Falling Water like that, I think, would look really good. We'll see. But in the meantime, if you can't get your hands on that, definitely take a look at the Adam Bricks Falling Water, because it looks fantastic. I absolutely think it's a phenomenal looking set for sure. But there you go. That's architecture. So if you've been keeping count at home, we are 4 sets in, right? To recap, the Imperial Flagship, the Green Grocer, the Night Bus, and Falling Water. So come on, y'all. You knew I had to end with this. What theme is left? We got to talk Star Wars. Like, can you end with any other theme? If you look at BrickCast, Star Wars, in the 25 plus, 26 year plus reign that Star Wars has had with Lego, there have been 1,041 sets listed on BrickCast. Over 1,000 sets. That's absurd. And Star Wars really likes to re-release sets, even upwards in the UCS, right? We've got multiple Millennium Falcons, multiple Imperial shuttles, Imperial Star Destroyers, multiple Death Stars, which I don't really want to talk about right now, 2 and then a pancake. I don't know what the pancake's doing, but there you go. But the question is, here in 2025, what could we possibly get from Star Wars that fans would lose their mind over and just be like, this was the re-release that we actually wanted, that we actually needed? And honestly, guys, to me, the answer is easy. Is it easy for you? Like, are you a Star Wars fan? Is it just staring you in the face? Like, I didn't even hesitate at the set I would want them to re-release. And that is set 10195, the Republic dropship with the ATOT. I mean, it's a no-brainer. The Republic dropship set that was released back in 2009, 1,758 glorious pieces, a beautiful, huge dropship that you had the ATOT attached to it, and it came off, and it's a fabulous looking set. Totally amazing. People absolutely love it, and it goes for high dollar. Like, it was $250 back in the day, so it wasn't cheap when it came out. And I don't know if that's accurate, but it says $250. But if you want it new in box nowadays, 6-month averages have it around a $1,500 set. That's absurd. Used has it at $900. So no one's going to get that set anymore. No one's going to buy it, to open it, to build it. It's just not going to happen. But to me, like, I'm just looking at it, and it was a great set to begin with. Wouldn't this be cool to have it get the true UCS re-release? And I'm not talking the $200. This is the $200 UCS version. I'm talking about that $500, $600, the Razor Crest, the the Imperial Star Destroyer, the Millennium Falcon. We're talking a 5,000 piece set. Can you imagine what the Republic dropship would look like if it was a 5,000 piece behemoth? And I really think people would pay the money. It's such a good set. It's such an iconic set. And it's in high demand. People would absolutely, I think, lose their minds over it for sure. If I was a star, because I didn't ever get the original, but even if I had the original, to see it redone, like it just, and again, let me preface with, you could not just re-release. You could re-release it as another $250 set, 1,700 pieces. I think that would be great. I would still buy it. But to have it get the ultimate UCS rendition, like here in 2026, right? That October release that they do, or this year we've got like the Death Star, or in previous years we've had the AT-AT or the Razor Crest or Jabba's Sail Barge, those really big sets. I just think that would look really, really cool. So there you go. Those are my top 5 sets. Did it match what you were thinking? Do you think I'm crazy? Do you think like you shouldn't ever re-release sets? Like, I really would love to know your comments down below and your thoughts on the subject. Like I say, to me, this is a really fun one because it's like we get so many re-released Lego sets all the time. If they could just ask me what I want actually redone, this is what I would choose without hesitation. All 5 of those for sure. So we'll see. Does it match yours? Let me know. Anyway, hope you appreciated it. Hope you enjoyed this episode, this Wildcard Wednesday. Make sure you continue to tune in. Make sure you've hit that little subscribe button because I put out podcasts every Monday and Wednesday. And so until Monday, when I come back and talk to you about some more amazing news and rumors, because they happen every week, I will just have to, I'll catch you on the next one. Talk to you later, y'all. Bye-bye.
How it's supposed to feel.